as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. Long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in.
Oh my goodness, I've just been fanboying. I've got some amazing people here today, and they'll all be dancing to this little bit of music in the background, which is absolutely fantastic. First up, it has to be Caroline Hopton. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for having me here, Ashley. It's lovely to see you, as always.
I cannot believe you can squeeze me in for half an hour today. So thank you so much for taking the time. What an amazing event. Thank you.
Anything for you. Anything for you, Ashley.
Oh, you're a superstar. So keep it on the theme with the ladies. We've got Bev. Hello, Bev. All purple there. How are you?
I'm good. Did you actually see me dancing? I thought you couldn't see me when I was dancing before.
Nobody else could see. You're perfectly safe, but it's just lovely to see. Because I do a little dance as well, and you can't see it, because I think with the music, it just gives you a little bit of a high before you come on. Yeah, not that I need it. And I don't know who to pick first. I'm just going to go alphabetical order. We've got Aaron. How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you very much for having us. What a lineup you pulled up here.
Oh, I don't know how I do it. And to add to the fun, we got Johan.
Hello, welcome.
Wow. So we're here to dissect, Accountex 23. Where do we start? So, Caroline, let's have it from the horse's mouth. Not that you're a horse.
I've been called worse, to be honest. I've been called worse. Oh, well, we're just absolutely on cloud nine. What an incredible couple of days. We couldn't have asked for more. We were just talking before we went live, and I feel like this show was all about the people. Everybody brought their A game. I feel like for the people even just queuing to come in outside, there was such a buzz and such an energy, and we just couldn't have asked for more. The feedback has been incredible. Our numbers, we had record numbers. So for the first time ever, we got over 10,000 attendees to this show, which is just incredible. And yeah, so there's so many people to thank. We don't have enough time, obviously, to do all that. But it was the best show I've ever been part of in the 20 plus years I've been doing events. So yeah, couldn't be happier.
And who'd have thought from accountants? Hey, Caroline. Absolutely. Do you know what happens is I tell people I work with accountants, and you can imagine what they say, but every single accountant I meet is cool. And this is the thing, Samuel Green. It was like Glastonbury, wasn't it? It certainly was. Hi, Kirsty. Bev, let's hear what you've got to say, what your thoughts were on Accountex.
It is like the accountants Glastonbury, wasn't it? So thank you so much, Caroline. It was amazing. I've been to loads of these events and loads of other events, and I've got to say this has got to be the best one. And I'm not just saying it really has. And it's so lovely. And like you said, Ashley, that people say that you're going to an event with loads of accountants, and immediately they'll probably all start yawning and stuff. But no, we're not like that. Or we know that we're not like that. And it was just so lovely getting so many people in one location. The networking side is absolutely fantastic, meeting old people, old connections that we know, but then also new people as well. I met absolutely tons of new people, which is brilliant.
No, it was absolutely superb. You're nodding your head there, Aaron. I don't know if you stopped at all during that time, just chatting before we started. You were clocking on at stupid o'clock in the morning and not finishing until stupid o'clock the next morning, were you?
Exactly right. And I have actually taken it off, but I've been wearing this shirt with pride as well. Accountex 2023.
Love it.
It was brilliant, was it? Like, generally was. I think my only slight criticism, and this isn't anything on the organization or anything, was
we didn't have long enough.
Yeah. No, but we didn't get all of those announcements that we normally get. And I think that's kind of down to COVID, MTD. There's reasons like that. Like, the vendors didn't bring as many announcements as we normally get. I think that's the only slight criticism. But I think in replacement of that, the speakers were phenomenal this year. And I think a lot of that is down to the fact that we don't need to worry about MTD as much now, so they can flex their muscles a little bit. They've got new topics to bring in. A slight plug for our conversation, for our talk, me and Johan did. We changed it a couple of nights before, and we introduced AI because everyone was talking about AI, right? So it just gave, I think, the speakers, everyone we went past, it was oversubscribed. People queuing out. There wasn't a seat to have on near enough every speaking opportunity, and I think everyone just brought their A game. And it was, it was that comment about Glastonbury. I think it's absolutely spot on. It is that Glastonbury type moment of, for speakers, we get to go out on some of the biggest stages, and and everyone was buzzing for it, and everyone was asking great questions. So, what an event! What an event!
Oh, brilliant. And where is he? Come on, Johan. Last but not least, come on, you give us your overview.
It was just incredible, wasn't it? I mean, for starters, I think I can count on my fingers how many people I saw in suits. So if we're saying 10,000 bookkeepers and accountants went to this show, I think it's safe to say we do not wear shirt, tie, and suits anymore. Secondly, much to my wife's disgust, I hugged more people in 2 days of that show saying hello to everyone than I've probably hugged in the whole of my life.
And you're a bloke. And this is the thing. It's lovely to see blokes. I've always hugged because I'm a lovey, but it's so nice to see blokes hugging. And you sort of like, hi, and you meet them for the first time. And they're coming in for a hug too. And it's just brilliant. Yeah, I think it's going to be Accountex 23 was the hugging year, wasn't it?
And TikToks. Don't forget the TikToks. That was brilliant with Rachel.
Rachel Harris, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. The little creation studio section.
So Aaron said something about the speakers. That's all down to you, Caroline. The speaker program this year was incredible. It wasn't tax talks and accounts talks and software vendors plugging their wares. It was diverse, wasn't it? Absolutely diverse. So well done you, because that was just incredible.
I have to say that the speakers, the quality of their presentations was, I mean, I've never seen it before. They were so engaging, and Aaron's right. The theatres were absolutely overflowing. And you know what? Those theatres were bigger this year. We made them bigger to try and house everybody, and we still couldn't do it. It was just wonderful. And I think probably both the hardest part of my job and probably the most rewarding part of my job is to put that program together and to engage with and work with the speakers and try and create a full program. And, we have over 400 people apply to speak at Accountex. So we do have to disappoint quite a lot of people. Unfortunately, we just don't have room for everybody. But the variety of the sessions, and like I said before, just the sheer quality. I mean, I looked at some of the numbers this morning. Some of those sessions had over 300 people in them. And that is incredible. People were sitting on the floor. Speakers were inviting them to come in from the back and sit right in front of them or on the stage. It was magical. Absolutely magical.
That's really good. We've got loads of comments here, so let's just bang those up there. It was a banging show this year, Caroline. Was defo the best show ever for us. So much positivity and love for new tech and each other. That's Kelly West.
Thank you, Kelly.
Says,
that's
good
lovely.
afternoon. Jody says it was her first Accountex, overwhelming at times, but loved it. Heather was out counting suits as well. And Philippa says hi. Or it really was just incredible.
We also pay tribute, though, to Accountex for their future thinking here, right? Aaron and I's biggest bugbear at times is that no one really recognizes the fact that most accounting news and content now is divulged and taken in by podcasts like this. How many different podcasts were streaming live or recording at Accountex this year?
Yeah.
I think that's the first time I've seen it really on that scale. I think that's huge. Hats off to you for embracing a change in media consumption for the industry that very few other people have looked at. Like Accounting Web haven't done it with their awards. None of the governing bodies are really embracing it in their recognition of content or anything. But you guys had so many of us there doing it. It was fantastic.
Oh, thank you. That's amazing. And did you see our Airstream caravan that we had there with the shouldn't really mention someone else, but yeah, the
envy of the Airstream caravan.
It was brilliant, that, yeah.
Oh,
but this is the thing, we've got to move with the times, and streaming live from the show is something that we should embrace, because that's what we're all doing. Aaron and Johan, you guys were wandering around with a gimbal. Did you have a gimbal?
Yeah.
and a little roving mic. It really was like talking to somebody on F1. It was great. So thanks for coming over and letting me play with your toys. That was great.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Like there's so much to go through Accountex. Like when we got to the end of it, the one thing that I struggled to do was get to talk to everyone. And I remember on the train home going, oh, I forgot to say, I was supposed to go and see this. I was supposed to go and see. At least then, with our opportunity to go around and talk to as many as we could, that's evergreen content that we can then pass on, and people can get to talk and understand what they may have missed out on. And then for next time, that's an opportunity for them then to go and reach out to those people and have those conversations. So it went down really well, and it was great for kind of me and Jan to see that behind the scenes as well, because we went Mickey hours, I like to call it, where we're there before everyone else and we get to go around and see people set up and stuff. So yeah, we've got some good content coming related to that on its way.
Excellent. Where can we see this content?
All our channels, Boffix, YouTube. We've got Johan's channels, LinkedIn. We just post it everywhere. We're I don't know what the nicest term of it is, but we just put it on everything.
We cluster bomb the whole of social media.
That's a better term than what I was thinking.
Fantastic. So when this becomes a podcast, if you're listening on the podcast, in the show notes will be all of those links, so you'll be able to get hold of those. Bev, so you were and I haven't done this. I'm really sorry. I'm just assuming that everybody knows who everybody is. So now you're in the spotlight, Bev. Tell us a little bit about you and what you're doing, because you're no longer with Iris. Is that right?
That's correct. I feel like I'm on blind date then. What's your name? Where do you come from? So
you can tell us all of that as well. That's absolutely fine.
I'm Bev Flanagan. So yes, I'm an accountant, and I've been for a long time now, just coming up for 30 years. I've been in practice and in industry. I started in industry, then went into practice myself. Had my own firm for 17 years and sold it last year to the one and only Johan that's on this call as well. So that was absolutely brilliant. Very good experience. Then I did a little bit at Iris, just under 6 months there. I was their senior accounting market specialist. It was great. But now I've just moved on because I want to get back into and get my teeth stuck into working with accountants and bookkeepers and sort of being a consultant to them and helping them on one side to grow the business to the best it can be, and on the other side getting ready to sell whenever that may be. Maybe the next 12 months, it may be down the line, but getting their saleable assets into a state that they can then sell.
So you've been at Accountex in the past as an accountant. So, and I guess you've still got your accounting head on.
Always.
Yeah. Why? Because there are people, and I really don't believe this, that don't know what Accountex is. Why should accountants come to Accountex?
Yeah, and that lady earlier on that said that it was her first Accountex that you pulled up on the screen as a comment, and it was a little bit overwhelming, but she loved it. That's all accountants and bookkeepers should come to Accountex. It's just, for every reason that we've said so far, the networking, the CPD points, meeting old people, meeting new people, the new vendors, the gathering of it as well. It's just everything. It's just so lovely to get one venue and tons of, thousands of accountants and bookkeepers all together, because we're all in the same boat. We all want to help each other. And it's just such a lovely environment as well. And if one person's watching this right now that feels that it's a little bit overwhelming for them, I really hope that they watch this and think, do you know what, I'm going to try the one in Manchester later on in the year, or I'm definitely going to come to one in London next year, because even if you come on your own, you won't be on your own, because us old schoolers, old timers that have been there for a long time, we will more than happily, welcome you with open arms. As we've already said, we like to hug and show you around and make sure that you are getting the best out of it that you possibly can.
Yeah, what would be the key thing that an accountant should do when they first get to Accountex?
I think it starts even before you get to the doors. Obviously, there wasn't a fantastic app this year that I looked on, and you can see all the exhibitors, all the vendors, all the speakers, all the presentations. I think that's what you must do first. Download that and have a look at what would interest you, and sort of make a note and comments by the side of the app, or write it down, whatever you feel appropriate for yourself, to see which vendors you want to look at and what shows you and presentations you want to watch. Because I think if you've not been before and you just turn up at the doors, it's like, whoa, look how massive this place is. Look at all the people. Where do I start? So if you've already got sort of an idea of where you want to start and which vendors you want to go to and which presentations you want to watch, that's a good way to stop the overwhelm initially, and take it from there.
Brilliant. Thank you, Bev, and good luck with your new role. Aaron, quick, who you are and what you do. Sorry.
Yeah, can I just also put a plug for that app? Because my favorite part about the app was it was all in alphabetical order. So when you went to speakers,
we were at the top.
Plus one for that going forward. No, my name is Aaron Patrick. I'm on a YouTube more than anything else as the QuickBooks chap. So if you have anything you need to know about QuickBooks, then it's over there. And I host a little podcast called Ask the Accountant with the one and only Johan. And that's what's just shown here.
No, perfect. And your turn then, Johan. I got some lovely comments. So I'm going to put those up again in a second as well. This is brilliant.
So I run the On Point Accounting Group, a group of accounting firms that's growing normally through acquisition, but also organic growth. So we brought Bev's firm last year, and I spend my time doing Ask the Accountant podcast with Aaron, and various other side projects, including running, developing a practice management software. So
yeah, come on, you need to tell us about that. I'm gonna put you in the spot now. You're gonna come back on my show another day and talk about that, because so many people are talking about it. So if you want to quickly shout that out, then please do.
Yeah, practice management software is called Client Engager. It's 6 months in, over 100 firms already using it, growing with new features and updates every week, and absolutely loads of content on YouTube about it. So yeah. But
fantastic. We will revisit that. We will revisit
Can I just share my one tip for Accountex? It ties back into your intro song. You get out what you put in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The people that really go for it and go and enjoy it and embrace it come back raving about it. The people that normally say, oh, I didn't get out what I wanted, blah, blah, blah. And you ask them, what did you plan? Did you think ahead? Oh, no. How long were you there for? Oh, only 4 hours. It's like, no, it's a 2-day event for a reason. Yeah. There is so much content to consume. You need both days and another week.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I don't know if anyone's seen James Ashford's posts, but he always bangs on about when you get back, that's when you do the work. And I wholeheartedly agree with him there, because it really is important to do that. As you know, I work a lot with the Six-Figure Bookkeepers. So what you did for the Bookkeepers, Caroline, that was delightful. Just tell us a little bit about what you did there.
Yeah, and it's something that's just come out of conversations I've had over the years with bookkeepers, and I know Joe and Zoe very well. And it's about finding your tribe. I think a lot of bookkeepers can be sole practitioners. And like Bev said earlier, coming to an event the size of Accountex can be really overwhelming. So we wanted to make sure that bookkeepers felt like they had somewhere that they could go, that they could feel looked after, and find fellow bookkeepers that will kind of help them. They can learn together, they can share ideas, they can go and see a session together, and just feel like they had a home. And it went down an absolute hit. It was called the Bookkeepers Base Camp, and we're already in plans to do it again next year, because it was just so lovely to see it.
It was, and I do a session with the group once a month, and one of the things is they don't feel that like they belong, because they see accountants as up here and they're bookkeepers, and it shouldn't be. And by doing that, you're actually turning around to them and saying, look, we're all the same. We are all the same, which is absolutely fantastic. So thanks for that. So hang on, I've got some things here. As a non-accountant, I can categorically state that every accountant I've met has been brilliantly mental and a pleasure to work with.
I like that. Brilliant.
Samuel Green's changing his name to Aaron A. Aronson next year. I used to be a bit wary of accounting conferences. It felt like Accountex and the sponsors made bookkeepers feel welcome and visible. So there you go. It's exactly what I just said. Where are we? Places to have a chat was great. Yeah, that was. I love that. I love that. You could just hang out with people. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm sure he now knows what Accountex is. and Philippa's accountant didn't go. You need to speak to him, Philippa, or change your accountant maybe. So So this guy, you need to get back to this guy. Apparently, sorry, dirty laundry in the chat there.
It'll be in amongst all the messages I get on a daily basis.
All right, okay. So Caroline, you're going to have to stay out of this because you might be a little well, it's political. So, Aaron, what was your favourite stand?
Oh, you're making me choose. That's
all right. Favourite 5, favourite 20.
No, I mean, I am biased. I was at the QuickBooks stand most of the day, so I'm going to have to put the shout out there. And they won best swag of the event. So,
what was the best swag?
Trainers, weren't it?
Trainers and goo and power banks and all sorts. I think it was more variety more than anything else that got them the award this time around, which was good to see. But we had working commitments over there for talking and for the social media takeover and for everything else. So we spent a lot of time there. If I was going to kind of look outside of that, though, I thought the Sage stand was absolutely phenomenal. Like that whole idea of putting the umbrella up, shout out to the Bright stand, that was nice and big as well, and the hammock stand was absolutely huge. So yeah,
wasn't it? Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
And it had a hammock on it.
It did.
Yeah. It had to, didn't it? It had to.
But I know we've said it once before. I think the standout to me was that creation clinic by Rachel. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. I thought that was such a cool little aspect, and everyone was talking about it. Everyone I was speaking to is, have you been down to Rachel's clinic yet? Have you done this? Have you done that? Have you anything else? So yeah, no, I think that was great, and I think more like little quirky things like that was great. And yeah, good. And I got to play golf at yours as well, Ash. So yeah, yours.
Did you win a book though?
Wasn't that good at golf. So
Bev, what was your favourite stand?
So I've got a few. So again, I like Rachel's stand, and again that helped people to overcome their shyness in front of a camera, because Rachel must have done a million TikToks over the 2 days, and I did 2 of them.
It was 2,750,222. She told me.
Right. Yes. Well, 2 of them was me, and I still did them anyway. So Rachel's, that was genius. I love the Air little caravan, the little podcast recording studio. That was brilliant. But my overall favourite one was hammock. I just think theirs was just genius, how they had it with the hammock there, the little purple gnomes, the little accountant's desk. It like told a story as you walk around it, and I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, no, absolutely cracking. And finally, Johan, what was your favourite stand?
Yeah, I was working with QuickBooks, so I have to say QuickBooks, don't I? But I think the Sage one just looked phenomenal. It's so eye-catching when you walked in. I love the fact that we know they've got this sponsorship deal with Union Rugby and stuff at the moment, and the fact that they've set it up like with all their swag laid out like it was a changing room. They've got an umbrella, they've got the coffee, they had the beer. I just think whoever came up with that, pat on the back. You did a great job. You tied in so many things, but I think all the big stands looked fantastic. It was bright, there was space, it was colourful, it brought people in. I remember going to, I think my first ever conference was QuickBooks Connect in 2017. And I remember seeing like hundreds of people gathered around some poor bloke trying to demo auto entry on a small TV screen. I'm sat there thinking, I stood there, but how's anyone in that crowd, apart from maybe the front row, got any value out of that, watching that demo? And how's auto entry got any value out of that? There's too many people to have a conversation with. But everywhere you went, there wasn't crowds everywhere. There was gatherings of people having a conversation. And I think that's as valuable for the attendees as it is for the software providers.
Actually, I forgot to mention as well, the startup zones. They were brilliant as well. They have the little startup zones. So that's brilliant. So it's not all about the big, massive firms, is it? The smaller firms that had just started up had the opportunity to exhibit as well. And I think that was brilliant.
Yeah. No, I don't think you got anything wrong at all there, Caroline. I'm just going to ask people watching if they could just in the chat just put their favourite stand. But as Samuel's saying, or Aaron, as we now know him, Sage stand was insane, and he thought hammock looked phenomenal. And this LinkedIn user is hoping to visit their first Accountex in Manchester. Well, we've got you. Caroline, do you want to talk a little bit about what we expect at Manchester? Is it going to be as good?
Oh, absolutely. We love traveling up to Manchester for this show. It's a little different to the London one. It's a one-day event, but it's on the 19th of September and it's free to register. And we just hope to see as many people there as possible. There will be lots of surprises in place. We're putting all the finishing touches onto that at the moment, but yeah, can't wait for Manchester as well. Another highlight in our calendar.
So I've never done Manchester. Do you have speakers there?
We do have speakers. We have 4 theatres that run throughout the day. We have drinks at the end of the day as well. We've got so much going on. It's definitely worth coming, Ashley. We'll have to talk about speaking later, maybe.
We will. I thought I'd sort of like just try my luck there. You never know.
Can't say no here, can I?
I will. Well, you can. It's absolutely fine, and I can edit it. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Guys, that's the quickest 15 minutes ever. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come round the room and I want you to just sort of like say what your everlasting feeling of Accountex 23 was. So I'm going to start with Caroline because you're in the hot seat there, Caroline.
Oh, it's almost impossible to pinpoint any one thing, but for me, once those shutter doors start coming up at 9:30 on opening morning, there's nothing else we can do. Our team, there's literally nothing else we can do. You just got to see who's almost beyond the doors, and hearing the cheers from inside and outside the hall, just that sheer excitement. It meant the world to me. I had goosebumps. I managed to hold back the tears, only just. And it means everything as an organizer to get a reception like that.
I think that's a great memory. Did you keep an eye on your steps?
Oh yeah, I was doing between sort of 25 to 30,000 each day.
Wow, I'm going to ask each of you that as well. So let's stay with the ladies. Your overarching memory from Accountex 23, Bev.
I don't think there's one thing. Like Caroline just said, it's difficult to pinpoint it down to one thing. I think it's just the vast array of exhibitors and speakers. I think is just been brilliant. Like I said, it's not just the big boys, if I can say that. Like I said, the other startups in there as well, and just being together, everybody just being all together, and that sort of massive community feel. The Glastonbury of accountants of Glastonbury, whichever way around you say that.
No, I love that. I love that. Aaron. Oh, how many steps did you do, Bev?
Oh, I don't know. I don't wear one of them posh Apple watches. Sorry. A lot, though.
So I did 18,000 steps. So,
each day.
Each day, yeah, pretty much.
He's got a spreadsheet on that.
Yeah, later if you all want to see it properly with the peaks and troughs. I think for me, like my overarching thing, this was my first year where I felt like I had a purpose, if that makes any sense. Like before, I've only really been there as the guest and or as a visitor walking around and feeling overwhelmed, like everyone's just been saying in the same boat. And I think this year having that purpose really amped it up for me. I just had such a buzz all the way through, and it got us thinking as what we can do better creatively to try and get more content out and everything like that. And I think that's my overarching thing. And for me, what I felt at the end was just spent. And I think that kind of really sums it up. I put everything I put into it. My feet were destroyed. And I just remember sitting on the train at the very end, just going, and relax. And I know, Ashley, you weren't feeling great either, were you? You felt like
I was more than spent. And Saturday night, I had a gig at a pub here, so I had to stand in front of my band and perform. So yeah, so Sunday I was absolutely hanging, and my voice still isn't right. So yeah, no, it was great. It was absolutely great. Johan, final word from you, sir.
So I did about 15 to 20,000 steps both days. I seem to have done a lot of standing around. I think my overriding feeling coming away from it was how far our industry has come in just the time I've been in it. So I've been in 6 years. An accountant 6 years ago was more likely to sacrifice their own child than talk to another accountant and share ideas. Whereas over 2 days at Accountex, there was 10,000 odd accountants and bookkeepers sharing ideas, networking. This is how I do that. This is how I do that. And learning from each other. And that, I think, along with the lack of suits, just shows how phenomenally different our industry is now compared to just 6 years ago.
Yeah, I love that. What a great way! What a great way to end the show. Kevin says here he always likes going to Accountex, and even as someone that specialises just in payroll, there's plenty there and lots of people to meet. And Samuel Green's given a shout out for Employment Hero. So hey, you did change your name, Aaron, and then we'll be sorted, guys. That was the quickest, bestest thing I've ever done. So thank you so much. 3 cheers for Caroline and her team. Absolutely superb. It's amazing to be involved. You can just go to bed now, Caroline, and wake up in Manchester. But thank you very, very much, Caroline, Bev, Aaron, and Johan. You've been absolutely super. Thank you to everybody for all your wonderful comments. We're going to have to do this again because you guys are just brilliant. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks so much,
Thank you.
Ashley.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Ashley. It's been brilliant.
Cheers. Bye-bye, everybody.
You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna